Okay, I hope everybody's doing well. We are going to continue with the lab. And if you're in the right place, you are still within the same packet number 1 that says BP1, the kinetic molecular theory and the different states of matter. You are, if you are in a successful spot, you have already done the milk part of this. You have already Snapchatted or texted a friend and shared your ideas. They gave you a question about your claim. You've already filled this out, and you've already tried to answer their claim. You have also already found the definition of the kinetic molecular theory of matter. So all these things we're doing is making us think that the invisible world is actually visible at some level. Okay, there are impacts. So what we're going to do right now is this investigation that is on the middle of page 7. It says mini investigation, and it says invisible ghosts. So again, if you were in my class, we would have together gotten a Petri dish, which is one of those little plastic Petri dishes. I would have had you get vinegar, which, you know, is a household chemical, which you guys could do that part. But the problem is you don't have this other part very available, and that's this bromothymol blue. And I would have shown you, and I'm going to show you a video quick because I did do this. I'll show you how I would have asked you to set it up, and we would have watched what happens over time. So I'm going to get that going here in just a second. Now, whenever I did this, because, you know, if you read through the directions, it says, you know, this reaction can take a long time, and we're supposed to draw what we see at 0 minutes, at 5 minutes, and then at 10 minutes. So that you're not sitting there and just staring at the screen for 10 minutes. I did a time lapse that brought 10 minutes down to 35 seconds. So we're going to kind of do a drawing, and you're going to need to get colors. You need to get blue, and I think you also need to get green, and probably even like green yellow. So maybe blue and yellow or blue and green, those will work really well. So in the meantime, if you need to push pause, go and locate blue crayon, blue colored pencil, blue highlighter, whatever it might be. And then same thing, I think a yellow would be good. Yellow crayon, highlighter, colored pencil. And because I time-lapsed it, we are going to do 0 seconds. We'll do like 15 seconds to represent the halfway point, and then we'll do the 35 seconds to represent the end point, because I time-lapsed 10 minutes, shorten it down to just 35 seconds. So let me get to present screen, and I'll show you what it would look like whenever we first begin. Okay, so, and I'll have to scroll it back to the beginning here. Give me just a second. So this is an example of one that I did, and I already have, oh shoot. I don't want to have play going yet. Let me make sure I got it to pause. Okay, so I'm not as good as you guys. You can already see I'm 1 second into it, but this is what I would have had you do. Now, I need to explain what you're even looking at. So this very center circle, notice that that's clear. That is the only place that we put vinegar. And if you know anything about vinegar, like vinegar has a specific odor, right? Like you've said to yourself, oh my gosh, that smells. What does it smell like? It smells like vinegar. Vinegar has a very unique odor. Have any of you allowed yourself to wonder, why can you smell it? You know, why in the world are you able to smell that? Something's going on that's allowing you to smell it. Did the liquid spill on your face and that's how you smelled it? How in the world is it that you're able to smell it? And that's very important, and that's going to play a role in what we're going to see here. So I only put 1 dot of vinegar right here in the center. All of these other dots are independent blue liquid drops of bromothymol blue. So I have vinegar in the very center. I have a different chemical all around in this radius all around. Those 2 chemicals as liquids are never going to touch each other, ever. Yet somehow, whenever I do mix them, if I were to take those 2 liquids and mix them together, they would create a yellow. And you can almost see this because your teacher's not as good at this as you guys. You can almost see the yellow that's happening because I didn't start right at time 0 here whenever I have it paused. So what I want you to think about is, all right, well, the liquids are never touching, and yet you're going to see a clue of a chemical reaction by a color change, and it's going to happen over time, and you got to think about the why. What is it that is causing that reaction to happen? So now remember what I said, and I'll try to pause it at 15 seconds so that you can also pause and show what it looks like now. But this is what I would want you to draw at 0 seconds in your table. Your middle circle's clear, and you have all of these dots on the outside looking like a snowflake, and those are bromothymol blue. So all those circles are blue. So that's time 0. So push pause, go ahead and fill this in. Now that you're back, what I want you to do is, and I'm going to pause this at 15 seconds, and 15 seconds, because this is time lapsed, is going to represent your 5-minute mark on your table. So I'm going to push play. I want you to watch what's happening. Okay, let's pause there. So notice what's occurring at 15 seconds, which really represents 5 minutes. I time-lapsed this, and I want you to draw what you're seeing here. We still have that middle circle that's clear, that's vinegar, but notice what is occurring with the bromothymol blue with time. And remember what I said to you at the beginning. Whenever vinegar and bromothymol blue mix, they create a yellow product. So somehow those two things are touching each other, but not as a liquid. That's what I want you to be thinking about. So take a moment to draw this in your middle. This is on page 7 at the 5-minute mark. And then when you're ready, we are going to let this continue and go all the way to the end. So here we go. Okay, and we'll stop there, and I want you to draw this. And imagine if I would have allowed it to continue, what would have happened over time. So I want you to pause out, and you're going to draw this at the 10-minute mark, because again, I time-lapsed that so that we didn't have to sit here and watch this for 10 minutes. But imagine what it would have looked like. Okay, I'm about to get out of present screen again. And what I want you to do at this point, the rest of this investigation on the bottom of page 7 still has questions that I want you to answer that relate to what you just saw. And you can always go back and watch it again, but I want you to answer those questions. And once you do that, then we will be doing one more investigation together. It'll be a 3rd video I have linked. And that deals with what you see on page 8. Okay. And all of this deals with us realizing that motion happens even whenever we can't see those things moving, that there are things that are invisible to our eyes that are moving, and they're not living things. Okay. They're atomic things. They're inanimate things. What's going on? Okay. And all this relates back to the kinetic molecular theory. Okay, well, good luck, and you'll be ready to do that next investigation on colored water, will be the next goal.